least at this point in my life, is that it's like a window into yourself. Like once you blast your consume out, it's out, and it's out forever. So there's like a very uneasy permanence to blasting for me, where I'm not only conscious of you know, the accuracy of my information, but like once it's out, it's like it's not just like, it doesn't just exist in your mind anymore. It you know, it's out and people hear it, and people are like making their own decisions based on the information you present to them. So it sometimes it depends on what I'm blasting, because sometimes it has absolutely no relevance to anything, but it's still something that's like attached to the identity, and it's sort of wounding if it's not received well.
Yeah.
And then other times it's sometimes it depends on what people rely on you, because if you tend to consume a lot, and you tend to know a lot of things, so people like rely on you to be accurate or correct. So I've always sort of like felt pressure to like provide the correct information, because I don't want to be like liable for anything that goes wrong.
Yeah.
If they take me information and something goes like not how it happened for me, or I didn't like account for something that maybe they didn't tell me about, and it's just like a bunch of like what ifs that go through my mind about like what will happen if they take the information and do something with it that I haven't like thought through yet. So it's just like a lot of like vulnerability and uncertainty of what's going to happen to the information once it's out. So
I can definitely relate to that. Like, you've like refined this information so much in your mind and in your, you know, your identity, and you've slept on it so much, and you think it's perfect. And when someone else comes in and like tries to like correct you or something, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Especially me, like my DI and my OI are both masculine. So my inner world is like double masculine. So any information I've come in a process and I've thought about for ages is pretty much solidified. And it's like, I believe this to be true. And then when I share it and it's like someone tries to move or disrespect the information, I'm just like, fuck you, mate.
Yeah. I mean, for me, my sleep is double feminine. So it's like I'm always trying to I don't even have the confidence to like remember the information myself, let alone like if I'm blasting it correctly and accurately. So it's like I can't quite escape my mind even when I'm blasting or playing. It's like there's some element of like consumency that I'm like withholding and like just being like reserved to my own mind. It's also almost like I'm never fully present. It's I can be in the moment in one instance, and then like seconds later I can just be like back in my mind and able to like get anything out. It's I don't know. It's uncomfortable, but it's what it is.
That's awesome. Cool, man. And you've just been recently. Oh, you haven't been officially typed yet. You've kind of like been given some like advice from David Chan on what your type is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually typed me as SF, SCFI. I'm not sure how much I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't get officially typed by them until July. So it's gonna be like yeah. So it's gonna be like a long time of me just like, I guess,
self-type. It'll be a midsummer special.
Yeah.
Midwinter.
So yeah, we'll see.
Sorry.
Midwinter.
Yeah, I'm in Australia, so it's like we're back.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's my experience blasting.
Yeah. Awesome, man. All right. Who's next? Who's up?
I can go next because I have. I don't know if anyone saw the chat. Because it's similar for me to what Bradley described with the permanence thing, and I think for me it's also the IP thing, because FE last feminine. I'm constantly pondering what the tribe thinks of me. I don't know. I just make up these fears in my mind that someone might be offended, or someone might think I'm stupid, or any of that. And I was just wondering.
So true.
It reminded me of what Stephen Colbert said before. So he sees it as liberating that he's broadcasting his shows, because they are gone in the moment they are broadcast. Because if it's not recorded, it's just very in the moment thing, and
Yeah.
it's the opposite of permanence. I mean, I struggle with that, but so if we see it like it's just in the moment and then it's gone, so that makes it, maybe that can liberate in a way.
Can you define permanence for me?
Something that stays forever. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I would have to
fully
think more
understand the
about
meaning, but I kind of get what you mean. Interesting.
that.
Okay.
Yes. And also, what makes it easier for me online, because I don't get, I don't know if that means, I mean, I'm Savior sensory, but still, it's much easier to talk to a group like this. I mean, I see all of you, but it's like everyone has a window, and the sensory information is very limited. So if we were all sitting here in this room right now, I wouldn't be able to talk as much because I would be so confused by all the feedback I'm getting. I mean, I'm still getting feedback from all of you, but it's like behind
That's
the
interesting. I didn't think that would
screen.
happen with a lead sensory person.
Also, I'm not lead, but yeah, I'm Savior sensory.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have said Savior.
Yeah, but,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I've got. I'm almost certain I'm a demon sensory, and I find the stuff in my environment like just overloads me because I'm like slow to process it.
Yeah.
So is it like you're processing quickly, but like you're trying to keep track of it, and that's distracting?
Sounds like
For
consume
me, it's
sleep.
like too much information. It is for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could also be a people thing, though, because, well, I don't know. I have it with sensory stuff as well, but with people,
Yeah.
it's maybe more intense, like eye contact and getting this feedback. And then, yeah, maybe I would think it's probably then Demon FE just.
It could also be
Okay.
like easier plays though as well. Because for me, like if I have people in front of me, it's like so much easier to communicate. And I feel like you guys are, I mean, you're on my screen, but I don't feel like you're really there kind of. But like if you're here, then it's like my mind lights up and it's like a lot easier somehow.
It's easy to focus, right? Like, I don't know, like it's easy to focus, right? Like we're all
Yeah,
like
totally.
most of us are like missing blast, so that means like we've got double activated consume. So it's a savior, and I think when we're trying to push ourselves into the blast zone, we're literally like diminishing our bodies and our minds of our like savior state. So it's like kind of like it's like diving or something. You're going underwater, taking a huge deep breath and trying to focus, and then you're coming back up for air to get that consume and sleep back again. It's like, I don't know, that's how I see it anyway.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You're going underwater, you're getting into this blast zone, but at the same time, and you're depriving yourself of your saviors. You kind of naturally want to go back into your savior state and just consume and then process the information. For me, anyway, consume sleep. I'm sure this is.
Are you do you have play high or do you have?
Play third. So it's.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Consume sleep, play blast. All right. Elizabeth, hey. Hello. Can you hear us? She can't hear us. We can hear you. Hey, Elizabeth. No, she can't hear us. Okay. Who's up next? Who wants to jump in and share some more blast information?
I'll go. Not
Mina.
too happy about that though.
Tribe over self. Yay.
Tribe over self blasting. Well, for me, since I'm play first, so I can compensate a lot of that sort of, especially since you're a masculine extroverted decider, you come off very blasty anyway in your play state. Like nobody saw me as play first before I got typed. Everybody thought I was blast first. So you can sort of use that energy from your play to then go through your middle animals to the blast, even though it's very uncomfortable and maybe the blasting parts aren't that long and not that effective. If you have actually sort of process the information and thus are working on your known information. So it is possible to boost that with play energy. Just for you guys to know also, if you ever feel like the blasting is getting too hard, just get a little bit playful beforehand.
Yeah, what was the name of that preacher, that famous preacher who was actually play first, who seemed like a double masculine?
Is it Bishop T.D. Jakes?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
I don't think he wasn't he consume play though.
Yeah, I thought it was consume play as well.
Yeah. I think he was SETI, but regardless anyway.
But that was like how he kind of like blasted. It looked like blast, but it was just all play, right?
Yeah, and that's probably what I'm doing most of the time on the videos and everything. I'm not actually blasting. I'm just using my play energy to emulate blast, but even for me, it's harder to blast, especially since my blast is double masculine. So if I do that ever on a public space, that's everything people will ever remember about me. Because most of the time I shut up, I don't say anything, or I play a little bit and I'm trying to act nice because I'm not very nice. And
you're not nice.
Once I do that,
you're not very nice.
I'm not. I try to be, but I end up being a little bit mean by accident. Whoopsie.
There's your play. That's cool.
But yeah, then if I do blast, that's everything people can see after that. Even if you blast like once a week, everybody will remember that forever because there was such a huge energy. It's deep in the demon realm and it's double masculine. So even now when I'm sort of putting more heat in this, I start to sound angry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm not really nervous or anything. It's just this change in energy, and that controlling that is very hard. So
it's very
have
punchy.
to learn how to blast nicely.
It's very punchy, right? People will never forget a punch in the face. So, when there's a massive blast punch in the face, that's really cool.
You guys have just been happy you haven't been in the line of my punch yet. Hopefully.
Not yet. We'll see.
Lucky us.
Let's see what it's going to look like. Awesome. Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing?
Good. Late, as always. Story of my life.
All good.
Is that a blast last thing?
Yeah. I think it's a person that's busy as fuck thing.
True. I was painting, so I had to stop painting, and I wasn't done either. So, yeah. Anyways.
Tell us about Blast.
What were you painting?
Your life. Oh, sorry.
I was painting trim. I was painting trim in my living room.
Trim.
Okay.
What's a trim?
Yeah. Trim, like molding, like wood molding trim, baseboards. I don't know what y'all call them there.
Yeah.
I think skirting boards. I think
skating boards.
Yeah, skating.
There you go.
Skating boards?
Oh, right. You guys are in Australia.
Yeah, I'm like, do y'all skate on them? Like, why do you call them skating boards?
Skirting boards, yeah.
You could.
Skirting. Oh, that makes sense.
Skirting board. It's like the skirt of a wall, right? Like it's like the wall skirt. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Elizabeth, tell us the story of your painting behind you.
Oh, I got it on sale at Big Lots. I didn't do it myself.
Oh. It looks so nice. It looks like one of those that you can do with yourself if you put paint on your body and you mash it up on the side of the canvas.
Right. No, it's like leaves. Like, I don't know if you can tell from the glare, but it's just leaves. I guess I'd have to turn off the light to show it. But yeah, no, it's just from Big Lots. I could have done it myself because I do art, but yeah, no. Fast.
Awesome.
Big Lots. Bought it, hang it. It's probably hung with like one nail and one thumbtack because that's how I roll.
I do calligraphy. I'll have to show you sometime.
The what?
I do calligraphy. I'll have to show you sometime.
Oh, that's cool. I've practiced that a bit, but I suck at it.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, but it's a lot of fun when you're trying to get into a meditative state.
Yeah. Bless you. Yeah. I don't know who sneezed, but
yeah.
Elizabeth, tell us about Blast. Your relationship to Blast.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out where Blast is at for me. I'm going to say that it's not high. And when I do blast, I'd say about 50% of the time it's like planned, like just planned out. Like I already have a map of, you know, my psi map of like what I'm going to say and the points I'm going to hit on. And usually I'll spend an obsessive amount of time compiling that. And yeah, and then I'm able to do it. And then I could talk forever if I've already compiled. Like, cause like once I get my train of thought going, I'm starting to think that whenever I do blast, that play just kind of takes over. And I mean, like kind of what I was learning about through Shannon Dave's videos last night over like different types of blast. But my play definitely takes over and I can just keep talking. It's getting going. It's starting it. That's a struggle for me.
Yeah.
And then also too, like sometimes I'll spontaneously blast, but even then, like when I have found myself doing that, it is always like known information. Like I'm not ever gonna, I don't think anybody maybe would, but like I'm not gonna ever blast about something I don't know about.
So that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Blast is organized information, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, there's some people that'll have conversations totally pulling it out of their ass. I'm just not
really.
Yeah, but there was a lot of
That's true.
discussion about this topic in another group.
Mhm.
The lead blasters were talking about how it's very difficult to blast about something you don't actually know much of. It's not like they feel comfortable with it either, which is why basically no one feels like they're lead blast, because we tend to think that blasters can just jump in and talk about anything.
Mhm.
Well, that sort of human being doesn't exist. Except maybe Dave. But
I've met people like him that can like pull from something, and then some of it, it's like, I don't really know how accurate that is, but it sounds right in this moment, so I'm just going to throw shit at the wall and
yeah,
I'm not answering
there
the
are
question
people who
correctly.
are better at that, but it's never easy to speak about something you don't have. If it's not your known information, how are you going to blast? Basically, you'll have to rely on other animals then. And also we keep changing our animals much faster than we realize. Pure blast or pure play is very rare to see anyway.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
It's true.
I think I answered your question. That's kind of what it's like for me.
Yeah.
I did pick up, like when I watched back my typing video afterwards, and I kind of refreshed my memory too last night on like blast low or blast last, and Shan was talking about how like low blast people don't always finish their sentences, right? They'll kind of trail off, or they'll be like yada 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 blah blah blah. I counted at least 4 times where I was like blah blah blah, like yeah, I don't want to go over. It just feels like a waste of time to go over every little detail. Like I don't have time for that, and I don't want to. Like it takes too much energy. I don't care, so I assume my audience doesn't give a shit either. I'm just like, nobody wants all that boring ass sensory data. I don't want to say it. I don't want to hear it from them. I don't know.
Cool. Hey, heads up. So we're at like 33 minutes. This is going to cut off like
really? Oh my gosh.
What I'll do if you guys want to hang out. Sorry?
Possible can we change host or something and start a new recording if we run out of time?
So what I'm going to do is once it cuts off, I'll start another meeting and I'll post it in the event again. You guys can
just combine the videos, because there is so many people that it's very hard to keep this short,
Definitely.
In my chat window, it just said that it has been upgraded. I don't know if anyone else got that. So
I got it.
I got it.
Yeah, but it doesn't include the recording. The recording limit is always on. It only means meeting has no time limit anymore.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. I also started the recording like 5 minutes too late, which I'm annoyed at myself at, but whatever. Cool. Who hasn't said anything? Kimberly, hey.
So I was actually typed last third and not last. And so I'm an imposter. I'm not sure that's entirely true. I think I side with the people with higher play. I think it's a mask that I can play with. I have about a 2-hour window that I can like throw the ball back and forth with people, and then I just have to tune out and process it. I can't indefinitely do it, but I can do it with a lot of energy. But like even here, I'm not in charge, and Klaus knows me from when I was in charge. That's a very different idea. I don't have to do that here. So I don't have to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's both less stressful and more stressful because now I don't have to say anything. And anything I do say, sort of to the point before, feels permanent in a way that it's reflecting my identity. And now I've like painted myself into a corner, and now I have to forever match this information that I put out there.
Right.
And so it doesn't hurt anybody else, but it makes me feel smaller and smaller and smaller. And so I don't like putting information out there. So, and
that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's internal and it's all in my head, so I try to get rid of it. But the other thing about Blast is getting started, and I've done a lot of thinking about this because I do have high play. I can work pretty hard, but I'm very slow to start things. Again, because I feel a pressure to finish everything I start, and I don't know if the rest of you feel that way.
Yeah.
But I'm very Klaus, no. You have a list going from how long from all of the things you're going to write a book? I don't know. I'm really bad at starting because I feel pressured to finish. Like I'm taking a break from jujitsu, and I think I feel guilt for that every day. You started and you didn't get your black belt. And so I just like have a tendency to beat myself up with that information. So I don't like to start anything.
Right. So it's like a huge amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm. And it's all self-inflicted.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that in a sense. Like being any lead, like I have trouble starting and also like sticking to things that I start. But the thing is, like there's so many things that I want to be able to do. And like, as soon as I get interested in something, I'll just dive right in and I'll start and I'll start neglecting the other things. And then like over a period of time, I'll realize, holy shit, like there's all these little like mini projects or things that I started to learn, or like, games I wanted to play, or things and just like I stacked up this massive pile of things. And I'm like, I physically cannot commit to all of these things. So I need to like kind of like learn to like block things away and say, no, don't do this. This is for later, or schedule it in or something, or just like really like narrow in and plan all the things that I want to do.
And narrowing down is hard.
Yeah.
I can learn all day, but actually writing something down in a paper or putting it out there like it's a complete thought, that feels like climbing a mountain.
100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like creepily obsessive once I get locked in on something I need to do. Like I might take longer or whatever, but like someone has to stop me. I can't stop. Which is why it's kind of scary to start in the first place sometimes.
Yeah. Starting is definitely the hardest one. Especially like one thing I've noticed about me when wanting to start something is I'll overthink like the amount or the effort that it will take sometimes. Like I noticed this at work. It's like someone asks me to do something straight away. I'm like, holy fuck, that's going to take ages. Where do I start? What do I do? Holy shit, like someone help me. And then I like, okay, let's just break this down. And I'm like, wow, that literally took half an hour. Okay, cool.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
And the energy you spend on thinking about it takes more energy than actually doing it.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, doing it's so painful.
Yeah. And we love to think. Cool. Who hasn't said much? Kevin.
Can I go next? Yeah. Because I got to leave soon for work.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
All right. So my experience with Blast, it's an interesting one. I've had many realizations over the past year. I think one is neglecting telling my friends things that they need to know about me in order to deepen the relationship. So I think I made a video about that a couple of months ago. But my latest realization is fear of commitment. That's my hugest problem with Blast, because my SI, my Demon SI, that's at the bottom for me as an ENFP. And so anything that requires blasting, ultimately it requires a commitment and a narrowing down to just one possibility or one path. When I don't want to do that, that's not life for me. That's death, because if you close yourself off, you can't be open to any new danger, or like you can't sidestep if you commit. Like right now, sitting here, my NE can just see all the different ways I could branch out from this situation. So no matter what comes, there's a million ways to go around. But once you commit to something, it's almost like you're vulnerable now, because once you've committed
to the not cooperating.
Yeah.
Exactly. You've committed to one thing. And so anything that is contrary to that one thing, that's bad. And I don't know, there's just no way around it. It just feels like death. Yeah. And so for instance, choosing a career path, like a huge decision in your life, it's like you'll never have enough information to know which path to pick. Of course, my body and my brain don't believe that. They believe that if I wait long enough, it'll just become clear. And that's a lie. It never becomes clear, right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, your time just wastes away. Time is another thing, because Demon SI, it's like it has no idea of time. Like Jonathan, you were saying, it only took half an hour for something that you thought was going to take an insane amount of time.
Right.
I find that all the time as well. I never get moving because I feel like the amount of time I have is way more than I would, so I'm always late to things.
Yeah.
My consume just expects there to be and like the right amount of time when it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fear of commitment. I think that's my biggest problem with Blast. Less so than what the tribe wants from me. I'd love to give what the tribe wants from me. I think that's because I'm balanced with tribe and self. It's harder to blast about things you're not interested in, of course. But if they ask me something and I want to give it to them, it's a traumatic, stressful moment of, all right, fine, I'll do it. Let's just get going. And it is a stressful moment. It's like when you're working out and you got to just do something that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like stressful in the moment. And it's almost like you have to detach and like derealize for a second, just to get through it. I don't know.
You have to almost kind of re-experience that trauma over and over again, because some part of you is not like connecting that like it's gonna, like that's not happening and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, like because every time I initiate a blast, it goes better than expected, but I just forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could take a while to get through that part, make those connections, change that pattern in your brain.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a real thing.
Man, it's good to be part of a group that understands.
I know, right? It's so good. That's why I thought this was a great idea, to just get everyone together in a group and just all share, because we all have the same struggles. We all have we have the same struggles. We have the same problems. We have the similar saviors. So it's like, well, let's just figure this shit out. And it's
interesting. Sorry. Oh, it's interesting how I was curious to see in this group how little interrupting there'd be compared to the other hangouts where there's like a bunch of blasters everywhere ready to jump in. It's great because the interruptions that happen in this session seem to be good because they're not just over the top all the time. It's only when necessary. It's been helpful.
Kevin, did you go to the Nay Zoom chat? Yeah, sorry, Nate. Extroverted intuition. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call it Nate. I had my own words before I came here.
Nay.
So that was
crazy.
Exactly.
Nay.
That's right. We do call it NE here. Yeah. No, I still call it Nate. I have my own terms. So, but no, that one was nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody was interrupting everybody.
Yeah.
Totally.
Jonathan, you were there.
The second one wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I was in the second one.
Yeah. The second one was all about how chaotic the first one was.
The first one was great.
The first one, and I deeply regretted it. I should have been on the last one. I'll never go to the first one. If they make two meetings, I'll never go to the first one again. Yeah. All the blasters out there. I'm not going.
I didn't know this existed, but now I'm going to go hunt it down.
Yeah, it's Dave and Shan do a Zoom chat every 4 or 5 months or something, 6 months.
Cool.
Normally, it has been 3 months before, but I don't know. Maybe they don't have a consistent pattern on that.
Yeah, that's strange.
All right.
I think it's just because I'm still a little newer.
Yeah.
All right, I better go then.
All right,
Gotta go
dude.
to work.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining us.
All right.
Thanks,
next
guys.
week.
Thanks for coming.
Good to see
Thank
you.
you. Enjoy
Cool.
the chill chat. It's so chill in here.
It is, huh? It's great.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
See you, man. So I haven't heard from Edmund and Sally. One of you guys want to jump in?
Keeps disappearing.
Edmund, you're muted. Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Hey, man. How are you?
Alright. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good.
Sorry.
Tell us about Blast.
I kind of latched on to the idea, sort of an idea that you were talking about earlier, where I suppose it wasn't necessarily explicitly said. Sorry.
That's right.
But it was like, it's sort of like the idea that Blast is kind of more confined in a sense when expressing what it's trying to say, while play is, if play is taking in information and constantly bouncing off the outside world, then Blast is confined in its communication and it's not necessarily focused on the outside world. And I noticed that because I'm, say, if I'm doing a video in the Facebook chat, for example, Facebook video, sorry, for the last thing, I noticed that usually when I'm speaking with play because I'm play first, and and I know that because the points of which usually, although I do speak about the general theme of what I was supposed to be communicating about, it's not pre-organized ideas. It may be sort of, I suppose, related to them, but usually it's just me speaking and then another idea bounces off of that. And I've sort of noticed when, I guess, typing people, at least from my, it could be wrong, but noticed when typing people, it's not necessarily how sort of extrovert or introvert they are, or whether they're getting started or not, because when someone's getting started with play, it looks like they're getting started from Blast because they're starting from, I guess, nothing in a sense. If that, they're both starting from what would appear to be nothing.
Yeah.
Because all play, the only difference that play is doing is players, has just taken in a piece of information and then bounced off of that, while Blast has bounced off of an idea that they've already had within their own mind that they've organized.
Yeah.
And so what I've usually found is, I mean, it's kind of obvious when speaking about it now, and I feel it's kind of disrespectful in the sense because you guys already know this, but I don't know, it's just, but it's, I suppose that's last, I guess.
Yeah, I get it, 100%.
Yeah, but it's like when you have pre-organized thought, and I suppose that's why they always show like people with Blast having a message that they, I guess, repeat because it's already organized information. They'll
yeah.
The fact that it is organized and it isn't, it's not just bouncing out from an idea because it is self-contained information. Even though it is expressed in the outside world to the tribe, it's still, I feel like, can you sort of get what I mean? Where it's like,
yep.
it's sort of confined within its own space, and then I guess people might use that to bounce play off of. I've also, sorry if I'm, tell me to shut up if I'm talking too much.
No, man, you're doing well.
But I've also noticed a sort of trend, again, with looking over, so like interviews and stuff, Again, this could be incorrect because I haven't like properly tracked it, like objectively, like written everything down or anything. But I noticed that Blast is more consistently, I don't want to say the term extrovert, but it's more consistently interacting with the outside world, while Play, although Play comes in bursts, if that makes sense, while Blast is more consistent in its approach.
Yep.
I'm not like in a stereotypically, oh, it's organized, but like in an actual, because it's not bouncing off of the environment around it. I suppose it's in a loose term, like I don't mean to sound like stereotypical, but like I guess in a loose term, it's got that sort of set energy level where it's Blast, it's a set, while with Play it just sort of bounces off random shit, if that makes at least that's what I've noticed with me. Is I'll be I guess this is a good example, is I'll be dead silent, and then as soon as I start speaking I bounce off of the ideas that I'm currently communicating about. I suppose this would be an example of me being Play first rather than actually using Blast, because I'm not using Blast because none of these ideas are pre-thought out, only the beginning part.
Right.
That makes
Yeah, you're kind of like pinging, like you're getting like new like input or something, or new like data points to then project out. Does that sound?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
With one interesting thing that Dave mentioned once in a video. The video was about Blast, I think. It was a Q&A. Anyway, he mentioned that you can, like, some people, like, you can kind of get into this Blast. I can hear myself. What's going on here? Nina.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi.
Sorry, I was just so distracted, but I could hear myself through your thing, whatever that is. Anyway.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Blast. Dave says that, like, he gave this cool analogy about using Play to like launch into Blast. And I think, Ed, what you were saying, I wanted to ask you a question about, do you find that being a lead Play, you can kind of like jump in to Blast easily? Like, am I making sense?
I would almost say it's the exact opposite, in the fact that it's actually really hard for me to, because the only way I'll ever start blasting if it's very intentional, and it can't start from Play, if that makes sense. It has to be through my own, almost like sleep into Blast, because I've pre-thought out this idea of I'm going to Blast now.
Right.
But when, in terms of Play for me at least can't, I'm sure for someone more developed, I'm probably not very developed compared to some people out there, but at least for me personally, and I'm sure Mina, maybe, I don't know, I would ask her as well, because she's Play first as well. But when if I'm already in Play, I sort of, because I'm so focused on not necessarily the external environment, but the ideas coming from the external environment, as well as the ideas that are popping up in my mind that I can bounce off of. Because of it, none of it's pre-thought out, none of it's very intentional, it's got a flow to it, so it's never really.
Do you mean when you share ideas or when you consume ideas?
Both. I think Play is quite, at least from my experience, I suppose it's probably because maybe I'm playing to consume, but I almost feel that Play can act similar to consume, where it's just passively taking in information. Because I'm because I'm TESE.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very new to the objective personality system,
Welcome.
so
welcome
I'm
to the cult.
still learning about the animals. Yeah, I know. I'm being asked to join a lot of different cults lately.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
One of us. That's awesome. Yeah, welcome, Nina.
Hello.
Have you been typed, or have you got like any feedback from like what you think you may be, or?
I believe I may be a self-above tribe person who GI lead.
Okay, awesome.
Um,
How long have you been in the How long have you been in the class?
well, I actually just I've been sort of observing from the sidelines for
All right, you're definitely a
few
consumed savior.
months, and then yes.
Oh, is this the Nina I spoke to
Really?
the other day?
Oh man. Yeah.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello.
So,
So how well established are you guys?
sorry?
Do you guys know each other well, or
Kind
all
of
you, or-
like this is the first time we've
Yeah.
done this. This is the first time we've done this like live kind of chat, but we've interacted with each other like through Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So we've exchanged
Yeah, Guy
words.
was just kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Guy
we
was like, "You got to join this hangout."
Yeah, and we practice blasting together, sort of. We make videos on the Facebook group and practice the use of blast. So basically, even if you are not straightly interacting with anyone, you get to know the people somewhat.
Yeah,
in
and
some
that's
point.
perfect for
I
missing
see.
blast, right? 'Cause you don't have to talk.
So what sort of concrete things do you do to like
What concrete things do we do?
blast? So, yeah, what can you do to like practice blast? Because that's definitely something blasters would struggle with. Are you
Yeah.
guys?
That's a great
And,
question.
Prepare a speech.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I guess.
Quite literally, just like little Toastmasters.
Yeah.
That's what we keep doing.
Yeah, well, like
Pretty
once a week.
consistently.
Once a week, just there'll be a topic that we put up, and we kind of, some of us.
And then you have to give
will
like
prepare.
a 10-minute speech.
Yeah.
No,
pretty much.
10 minutes.
Well,
10 minutes is too much
Four-
for starting.
4 minutes is like the kind of guideline, but like none of us can stick to it.
No, everybody rambles, and
No.
those are just very long videos, unfortunately. Narrowing down isn't the forte of this group.
Yeah. I'm trying to get in the habit of actually just like throwing some words on the paper and just like bullet point, and then like just try to really stick to the point. But yeah, it's all about 1% growth, right? Every day.
Yeah.
So I just watched, I just consumed some info on Blast Slow, right? And like, I think I won't share all the tips, but like the best tip, and I've heard Dave mention it several times, was about tricking your animal brain, right? And he used Shan as an example when he told her to read the book E-Myth, right? He's like, just read the first 3 pages. He was like, the reality is, once you read the 3 pages, you're probably going to finish the first chapter.
Yeah.
It's all about just
Hey,
getting...
sorry guys, I got a jet.
All right, man. No worries, dude. Thanks for coming.
It's been fun. I hope, I hope we can do this again.
Definitely doing it again.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yay!
All right. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.
See you,
See
dude.
ya.
Bye.
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 Sorry.
Yeah, but there definitely is the element of sort of tricking your animals. You sort of imagine that you're not starting, do some initial small steps, and then you just end up starting by accident. That's what I try to do anyway.
That's probably
Whenever
that's probably a lot of
whenever I break any routine in my life, it becomes very hard to restart. So, well, it's sort
it
of
does
like,
have to do with SI being SI. What type are you?
Me? No, I'm SCTE, so not SI. SI is not my jam at all.
Okay.
So I'm play first, blast last, so semi-extroverted.
I see. That's interesting.
Not really. Trying to be extroverted, more like.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you need a lot of routine, or?
Probably I would need some, but I don't actually do. Am I a routine person? No, hell no.
I see.
No, I don't do routines unless they are absolutely mandatory. And I'm trying to introduce more routine in my life, and it's not it's not working very well, because every time you lose the routine, you have to restart, and restarting is very hard. And often before you get the routine going, you have to start several times. It lasts a little bit longer next time. And but in my case, I just end up not starting again.
Yeah. Sally, are you here? Yes? No? I'll take that as a no. Cool. So we've heard from pretty much everyone. Does anyone have anything else they want to share? Or I'm still surprised that the recording's going, because it should have cut off by now. So that's probably a good thing.
Is it airing live or?
Well, no, it's not live. It's recording it, and it'll download it as a file, and then I'll then share it to the whole internet. No, I'll see.
I wonder about like blast versus consume. Does any of you guys have any experience with psychedelics?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So what's it like to be a blast blaster?
So I think like
I'm actually currently on acid.
What? That's great.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
is that helping your blasting?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. Like, I do smoke weed every now and then, and I notice that like when I do smoke, like I can blast so well. Like I feel like I'm just like into my like I can really like focus in and narrow into like the SI, like the what's an example? Like, okay, so I got home from work one day, I smoked weed, it was a shitty day, and I was able to like really narrow in and focus like everything that happened and pinpoint all like the pain points of the day. And I literally just blasted out everything to my girlfriend. And I was like, after I finished, I was like, holy shit, like I was literally talking nonstop for like half an hour. So yeah, that's like a perfect example. I feel like it helps me like narrow in and be able to like share. I don't know. That's my experience.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't do any like drugs like that, but I am in grad school for acupuncture, and I'm also doing an herb program. So I'll be able to make I can hear myself. That's crazy. Individual supplements.
I wonder if that's
for
my
people.
audio that's doing it.
Okay, that's all right. But I can make like I'll be able to make individual like herbal supplements for people. So I play around with the different concoctions of herbs and
nice.
And I do notice the difference, which is pretty.
That's cool.
Yeah, sure. I'd have to look at your tongue and like get some info, but I could actually do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm an acupuncturist. I look at I like take pulses, look at your tongue, like ask you a whole bunch of creepy questions about day-to-day life. Yeah, and actually like diagnose side out and figure out what kind of herbs you need based on that and like a whole concoction.
Nice.
It literally looks like I'm like brewing potions in my little apartment.
Wow.
Everyone thinks I'm a witch.
Yeah, like an urban witch.
That's very solipsist.
A modern witch. That's cool.
Yeah. A solipsist witch.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I'm like literally attending Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah. You should start a school. I'll definitely enroll.
Yeah, there we go. We'll brew potions all day, and we'll like make a blast potion.
Yeah,
I'll have it figured out by then.
Yeah, just like something that turns.
The blast.
Yeah, something that will just turn off completely.
Oh no!
That would be a horrible existence.
I can't imagine what life would be like without consume.
Yeah, I know.
It would suck.
Do you think like we'd just all be like void? Do you think we'd all be just zombies if that happened?
Yeah.
Since that's like our personality.
Yeah, it would literally.
Maybe it would be like a hive mind, but then we wouldn't be like the
would be like temporarily lobotomized.
Yeah, I think so. Like unless we had like some sort of hives. Hive queen blasting stuff.
Who's the hive queen? Would Mina be the
Someone
high queen?
with blast
She's
first,
the
at least.
tribe-
Definitely not me.
No, I guess that wouldn't be Mina then.
All right.
Someone with
Dave.
someone with blast, at least.
We're
Dave
getting
would
starting
be.
to feel
we're getting
the
madly
effects
off topic
of
here.
this
I'm just
conversation.
conscious of.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's bad when a leader and he's telling us to get on topic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's probably like my
Yeah.
my activated demon SI masculine. That's like, oh fuck, we're getting upset. Like we need to like. I feel like this is off topic as well. Maybe it's related, but like it's masculine. My demon masculine SI is like can just like come in out of nowhere and just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Or like, like you get off topic, or like holy shit, the room's a total
Any
mess.
other comments?
Clean the shit
Any
out of
other
it.
comments? No comments.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. It's a weird.
Mine comes after me too. It's like a really hardcore inner critic. Like, you should not be fucking doing that. Why are you squirreling? Why are you doing this other thing? Because you're supposed to be focused on this other thing, and you never get any shit done, and you're all over the place. Like, get it together. That what your SI sounds like?
100%.
I think that's the general human
That's kind of what mine.
Yeah, probably. The negative.
Everybody feels like they don't get shit done.
Yeah,
True.
that's very true.
At least we're not alone.
I have the weirdest relationship to that in that I day to day don't feel like I'm doing much. And then like I blink and I look back at my year and I'm like, how did I do all of that?
I never have that thought. I wish I did.
Like I didn't feel like I did anything last year. And then I looked at my Facebook timeline, realized, oh, I just graduated from my undergrad and traveled to 3 different countries and 14 different states. It's like, nope. But I didn't do anything.
It's
Wait,
all
you don't
relative.
remember. You don't remember you did anything. Is that the problem?
Right? Because most of the time, like, I sit around, like, because I'm not, like, doing 100 things a day, like, pretty low energy, like, taking in energy. I do, like, 2-3 things in a day, but it all gets done. It's like the Taoist phrase, nature doesn't hurry, but everything gets done.
That's a great philosophy.
Yeah. So yeah, very weird relationship to that.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else want to throw in anything else? I think we're all pretty much blasted out. I know I am.
Yeah, it sounds like you're all tired.
Yeah, I only had like 5 hours sleep, so and it's like 8 o'clock.
Oh, well.
It's 8 o'clock right now. In the AM.
8 a.m.?
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
8
The
a.m.
topic is not
Where are you at?
wonders.
Australia or?
I'm in Upside Down World.
Oh, okay.
Australia, yes.
Well, that's-
Australia, mate. Where are you guys from? Everyone tell me where you're from.
I'm glad I didn't say New Zealand then.
UK.
UK?
UK.
I live in America, but from the UK originally.
Nice.
Germany.
I'm from Denmark.
Wow. Nice.
Finland.
Finland.
US.
Where at, Kimberly?
Nevada.
Oh, I'm in Texas.
Texas. Nice.
Mhm.
For the first time, we actually have an imbalance of Americans here.
Yeah, I'm an American too. I'm from Philadelphia.
I started to think that Blast is a very European thing.
Nah, it's just that all the
actually true,
high blasters drown out.
It does make sense though.
It's too loud.
Yeah, because I know so many European, like officially typed OP members who are from Europe, and they are all Blast, including me. So
Wow.
I think it's
Do you reckon?
maybe it
I was
does.
thinking that's got to be cultural. Like,
I'm not sure, not necessarily, since it may be that culturally in Europe, people who get into personality typing tend to be people who struggle with
right.
Blast.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
probably more likely. because
I consume high sleep.
know. Yeah,
And I
and
was also-
definitely there are blasters in Europe, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just
for sure.
probably
Yeah.
I don't know about the other
They're too busy
European
blasting to think about personality type.
possibly, or making their careers or whatever. But I don't know about other European countries. Maybe Klaus and others can educate me. But here in Finland, nobody even knows what personality typing is. They don't really know the concept. It's not
Interesting.
common.
Yeah, neither in Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do you guys know Rose? Rose Veltman? She's in the
No.
group. She's from the Netherlands, and she's lead blast.
Oh
I think
yeah,
double
she's,
activated
Oh.
blast. Missing consume.
Yeah.
So I don't know how she found personality type. Missing consume.
by accident.
Yeah. Whoa, what's this?
Maybe
Someone
she,
blasted it at me. I don't know.
That's funny.
I was
Um,
thrown in.
Yeah. I had a theory for a second, but it broke down immediately.
I hate when that happens.
My girlfriend, she's also from the Netherlands, and she and Rose are very similar types. I was thinking maybe like Dave and Shan just think that like Dutchies are like lead blasters, and like there's some weird, and they're both like the ENTJ. So, but that's two pieces of information. So my theory is invalid.
yeah, and Rose has
Interesting.
double feminine blasts, so it's going to be very
Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It does. And my girlfriend has double masculine blast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, punch in the face. And it's double activated, so I get beaten up a
Yeah,
lot.
isn't she like a decider version of my type or something? She's very close.
Yeah, she's pretty much the EJ version of you.
Yeah, so that's what I thought.
Yeah. Cool. What else?
All right. It's I think I probably am going to refuel, but it's been really fun to
enjoy the rest of your acid trip. Tell us how you go.
Thank you.
Nice of you to join us.
I'm so excited. Like I love that you joined us like high on acid. That's really cool.
I wanted to
It's
see what
memorable.
it was like.
I've never done acid. I'm not sure if I ever will, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, like especially like trying to consider things from other people's perspectives on acid. It's like this is so interesting, but this may be like, yeah.
What is your mind doing right now?
Yeah. What's on your mind? Tell us what's on your mind.
What?
Tell us what's on your mind. Like, are you like having crazy thoughts? Are we living in a simulation? Is like the Illuminati real? Like,
I would say we're probably living in a simulation, but we are also super constrained in like the amount of space we use up. So, like, I think we have a lot more resources than we think we have.
damn, that's deep.
I think that's very true. I think that's extremely
Profound.
true.
Like, we just have to figure out the constraints of like what kind of space we're allowed to take, and figure out how to like coexist.
Are we bound to this earth by our five senses?
Not if we're on acid.
Yeah, I think yeah. I would say we are, because like meat functionality and like just the mechanical thing of having to deal with like your own meat is like a unique thing that humans deal with. So in a sense, yes, everything that we do and say.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with dealing with my own meat a lot.
How so?
That could be 1,000. That could mean 1,000 things.
Yes, and everybody
Like could
thinks
be
the
a
one
1,000
thing.
to one.
Exactly. Everyone's thinking the one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
It really
know
could.
what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But yeah, next time we do this,
I love how meaning dissolves.
next time we do this kind of hangout thing, we need to prepare the questions, more than one apparently.
Yeah.
Because this goes very, very chaotic, very, very quickly.
Listen to this.
Listen to that one. Trying to control the chaos.
Well, why? Yeah, why do we have to control the chaos? I do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yes, we're supposed to conquer our demons.
100%. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
That's partly my fault, but
No,
definitely that's great feedback. I'll take that into consideration.
no, I should have sent you like a long list what you need to do.
You sure you're not SI?
I'm quite sure.
I'm kidding.
I have masculine NI. Come on.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Super rigid about the abstract concepts.
Yeah.
Very.
But I think this is like a good icebreaker for us because, like, you know, it's the first time we're interacting with each other and getting to know each other a bit more. So.
Oh yeah.
And I love
No,
the chaos.
it's
Like this shit I love. But I need to. Yeah.
Just feel for us poor SEs. We don't quite keep up with your NE.
I think so.
What does that mean? Tell me what you mean by that. A bit more.
Well, since this is of course only my personal opinion. I deal with
of course.
people with lead NE quite a lot, and the jumpiness of the kind of the speed that you can make connections from one thing to another is way higher than as an example mine. For me, I don't see that realm of possibilities that I can then jump into. So I sort of, first of all, I'm pretty weak in N in general. I'm not very intuitive person. And secondly, it's not like my intuition is linear. It's in one direction, one solution, one thing to say kind of thing.
Okay.
So when you guys start playing with you have your play energy with NE, it's marvelous to look at and listen to, but it's very hard to jump into it.
Interesting. Okay.
At least for me.
Interesting.
And because I'm a rigid ass.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing, because whenever leader sees say stuff like that, it makes me think that I'm not one. So I mean, I'm just questioning their own unofficial typing that they gave me.
Yeah.
And I think I'm NE over SE, but that's just my opinion. I need more data, but thank you for sharing anyway.
You need more SE.
Yes. well, I need more OE in general. I need either.
Yeah, no.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just so you know, it's not that bad being SC.
It's not. It's 100% not bad. And this is what I hate about MBTI. Sorry, I'm going to go on a rant right here. Fuck MBTI.
Yeah.
And the fucking censor bashes. Fuck you all. No, joking. No, like,
seriously.
It's such a
masculine FI. Everybody, watch out.
It's such a horrible stereotype, and like I'm so involved in all these like other MBTI groups, and like every time I just scroll through, I just see like fuckloads of ignorance everywhere. I'm just like, wake the fuck up, you idiots! Like, you guys like have this mad like opinion that censors are stupid or something. I'm like, that's like, it's just horrible, right? Like they
the only reason anything gets fucking done or built.
Exactly.
The military.
Like, there's also the opinion that like people that have sensory can't use their intuition or something. But that's 100% bullshit.
Yeah, it's not true at all. They just experience it differently than we do.
It's just what's the preference? Like what's the first preference, and then bang, intuition.
Yeah, you start if you're sensory dominant, you start with sensing and then you move to intuition. It just takes you longer before you see the pattern. Yeah. And then vice versa, if you're intuitive, you see the pattern first and then you gather the facts. We all use both. You just start at one place and move to the other.
Yeah, and how like you use your function, whether intuition or sensory, relies on how well you use the counterpart. So it doesn't matter which one you're first, you have to balance them out anyway. So, but just make a test, go to some very, very like edgy MBTI group sometime and tell everyone that you're ESFP and watch how people will react. It's so fun. It's really fun. I love it.
I mean, I've definitely been in those groups, so it's not like I disagree with anything that you guys are saying, but I'm not saying like SE is bad or anything. No. I just don't think it's my dominant. So
that's fair enough.
Which is understandable. It may be the case too. So it's good that you're taking the time to reflect.
Yeah, and you're approaching it from a good perspective. You know, you're not like fully committing to like this is what I am. You're kind of like trying to see more possibilities. Maybe that's a good mentality. Yeah, sure, Kimberly.
Yeah, I think that's
you said that
probably the best
your
way to do it.
intuition doesn't jump around.
but your NI is masculine. So I was wondering if Klaus, you can keep up, because I always felt like Klaus could keep up with me no problem, but his intuition.
Klaus is special. That's because
well, he is special. But
he is special.
It's maybe what you're indicating more masculine NI.
That may be it. May be my NI is so rigid.
That's what I'm
it might be different for people with feminine NI.
Yeah.
So Klaus, are you still here?
Klaus is TISI, so he's probably engineered some way to like be a master at all this.
What is the question exactly?
Do you keep up with any? Because your NI is feminine versus Mina's masculine.
I love it. I was so confused when Dave said that he struggles. I mean, he's feminine NI as well. I can watch Jordan Peterson for 5 hours and I'm not tired. I'm energized. So I can keep up with NE just fine, I think.
I think I need to reassess what I said. I probably communicated it badly. I can keep up with NE, but I have hard time participating in it when there is several NEs around me who process their NE much faster.
Like bouncing around all this random stuff.
So it takes me so long time to emulate NE that.
So
I feel the same way.
What makes me crazy about NE is when there's a topic and we decide before the talk that we talk about a topic, and then he just drifts off the topic. I notice that, and that sometimes makes me crazy. But it's like
that's because we all have ADD.
True.
Yeah, I don't really know how to like what to do like to make it a win-win in my life and with other people, because that's the one thing that actually like energizes me and gets me like out. And usually the second I actually find that with other people, which is kind of rare, like it gets smacked down very quickly.
Yeah, it must be hard for you that way.
Yeah.
But maybe just doing it in small bursts or something. I try to, it's the same for me. I love debating with my masculine TE, but people normally
like
pretty quickly.
Yeah, like get intimidated. Probably try to stop it from happening.
And Klaus,
I think maybe just try a different kind of approach to it. That's what I try to do with the parts that are causing havoc in my life. Not control them entirely, that like not doing them, because you can't avoid doing them. They are your saviors. You're going to do them all the time. However, try to do a little bit more of the opposite and then change the tone or the way you do.
Or do it anyway.
That's
my vote.
Okay, this definitely makes me feel like I'm not a we or any. Because the way that you talked about it, you're SI or sorry, I can't see the names on the screen, but you who were talking about not having any.
That me, I guess. I'm not.
Yeah, it
I'm
was you.
SE, so I'm basically OE.
Okay.
But it's just
I see.
I'm gather over organized. Actually, basically double gather since I'm play consumed. But it's just not ideas or concepts. It's facts and concrete things. So
that's
just
really
a different kind of flavor on the gather.
The abstract gather game, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting.
My blast is over. It's done.
My
blast is over like an hour ago.
Mine is
you guys have been carrying me.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard, man. Kev's back. Hey, Kev.
Yeah, I'm just I'm still on my way to work, but I couldn't help but consume some more.
Well, we're all blasted out, so you've had some time to recharge. You blast.
Yeah, your
totally.
turn.
Okay, so was there a question, or can I just ramble?
No question, just
we were talking about
ramble on.
Ramble.
Okay, so blasting right. There was something I forgot to say earlier, which I wanted to say. Giving your opinion on things. How do people feel about that because I freaking hate it. I don't want to give my opinion because again, I have to commit to a position at that point, and I can't do that because I haven't got all the information, and I never will. So how can I ever give an opinion on something?
Yeah, I can't give my opinion on that.
What you were talking about earlier.
I think it might be
like
for FI.
What about like with other people trying to influence your opinions, or like on that same note, like I don't know if I'm going off topic, I might be, but like
yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, okay. It all seems the same to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I relate to what Kevin says 100%. Like, and I think we kind of touched on this in the beginning. I don't remember, but yeah, I struggle to give my opinions because for me, like my real demon or like non-activated function is TE. And I feel like that manifests in like a kind of like afraid of the tribe. It's also feminine. So I'm afraid of like what I say, like how the tribe will react. So therefore I'm limited with my opinion that I share.
Yeah, I relate to that.
We're basically the same.
I just don't want to debate the reasons because I have my reasons and I'm happy with my reasons.
I mean, which kinds of opinions though? Because it's
so like political
opinions about
political religion, like theories.
The big stuff,
yeah. I think part of it as well for me is like because like I love theories and I love to like, you know, obviously the abstract, blah blah blah. Like I feel like when I'm trying to explain something, sometimes it comes across very abstract to people, and like their immediate reaction is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And that's like just like makes me want to just shut down and be like, "Oh, I don't know, it's too hard to explain."
Feels personal, right?
Yeah,
exactly. It's personal. So
I give a lot of caveats. Well, I heard someone say, or this is what I think right now, or whatever, so that it's not. I try to like make it as movable as possible, the information. But I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I do think it makes TI because we're always going, what are my reasons? What are my reasons?
Right. Yeah, there was an example that Shannon said in one of her videos where play style, like the play style of things is saying to someone, oh, this person told me to tell you to do this. And it's never like, can you do this? It's always passing on the information from someone else and making.
That's interesting.
I think you froze.
Yeah. The internet in Australia is horrible, so it doesn't surprise me.
And driving.
We don't even have 4G yet.
Wait, really?
No, I'm joking.
have
That's a joke.
Oh. You got me.
Bradley.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it. I just didn't say it. You're not alone, Bradley.
You didn't blast it.
I didn't.
Does anyone else have anything else to add to what Kevin was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I have feminist sensory, so I forgot what he said, but I'll tell you what I agree with. I agree with religion is, well, personally, religion is really easy for me to give my opinion of because it's not something that I like feel obligated to. Politics is different because it's like you can't really quit the political system.
Yeah.
But you sort of like have a choice. Well, depending on, like, I guess depending on your family or like your support system, you might be forced into like a religious opinion. But for me, I have no time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that that loud?
No, I said Mina. That was just a giant
I'm sorry.
water. It just came out of nowhere, man.
I'm sorry.
It's huge.
It is. I need a lot.
Holy crap.
Bradley, you were saying?
I mean,
sorry.
That's no problem. Actually, of course, I need to like say it more concisely. Give me some time to process. Stop blasting, and telling myself to stop blasting so I stop sleeping to me.
Yeah.
It's not working. All right, let me, I tried. Yeah, so I mean, it's easy for me to, yeah, it depends on like how much it will like rock my identity if I'm like either misunderstood or just invalidated. So if it's like something I don't really care about, I can like give my opinion, no problem. But like the closer it is to my central identity, the more it feels like I will have more to lose if it's not received well.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
if it's like a feelings value thing versus a reasons thing.
Yeah. Well, even it to me, like I mean, everyone can use everything. So for me, it like doesn't really matter if it's like an individual value or an individual reason. If it comes from me, it's still like I have that much to lose of myself.
Yeah. It has like a reflection.
Right.
It's been judged and labeled bad is what it feels like to me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a gross part of me. I shouldn't pull that one out.
Exactly. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. Good point. Cool. Anyone else have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I'm really interested in the difference between like FE and TE blast, because just then that was a very interesting like thing to say, like exposing a gross part of you. Is that how the FE blast feels when it's a demon?
That's great.
Like, so you guys were saying that it feels like you're exposing a gross part of you because it's a demon FE. Is that what you guys just said?
Right.
That it could be judged gross, and I didn't know it was until I blasted it and the tribe labeled it as gross. So it feels like a risk to me.
Oh man.
So you're like, it's like a fear of how the tribe will, like.
And I have tribe issues where you guys don't, so it's probably compounded by that.
Well,
is the IP versus EP?
Yeah. I think, like, I'm an EP, but with IP problems, but it's probably not as like as intense. So I think I can kind of understand, but I think what Kevin was asking and what I'm also trying to understand is like the FE blast versus the TE blast. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Well, because when I blast, like apart from the fear of narrowing down, it's also the fear of being misunderstood. Like, just they won't get it, or they think I won't make sense, or that I'm illogical or irrational, or something like that. It's never about like your opinion
don't really
is.
give you the chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Your T. It's your T that's on the line. It's my F that's on the line. Is that what you're saying?
And that's so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to delve into that a bit more. Like, what you guys? I want to know more about the FE side of things.
Yeah.
Because like my side of things is like being misunderstood. I won't get my point across correctly, and because it's feminine, it's gonna be even more scared. So with FE, is it like what would be a good case scenario for an FE blast? What's the best case scenario?
No idea.
Good question, though.
It is.
It's great. It's a great
Maybe
question.
it would be that their values wouldn't be valued. I'm just guessing. I mean, like, I'm guessing based on what I understand about FE.
I mean, it also depends if it's like savior or demon FE.
Yeah.
Like
as well.
tribe elimination or rejection.
Feels like with TE, you just go back to the drawing board and you make it make sense. Oh, I just need to learn more. With FE, it feels like I'm a bad person. Because you can't go back and FE. You can't go back and change that without changing yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot more at stake there.
Yeah,
But that's all the walls
like
I
a
built in my
shame
brain.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be, since you're sharing your feelings, and well, I'm Savior TE, and yes, I do get a little bit shaky if my blast doesn't work the way I intended, but it's not emotional. Otherwise, what is going to get hit is then my movable identity. If I've actually blasted about something that is close to my identity or part of my identity, only in that case it's going to affect me emotionally. Or if there is excessive drama or something, of course I'm observer lead, so I don't have as strong problems either.
Interesting.
But no, I don't have
everyone's just
trouble
like super deep in
expressing
sleep
my
trying to understand all this.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting question. Like, what I'm trying to understand is like with the difference between like T and F specifically. I'm trying to relate this to FE and T. Is that F is very like it's not structured. It's illogical. It moves, and it's kind of like it's like a beast that you can't really tame. Whereas T is like very structured and logical, and you can pull it apart, and you can like replace parts, and you can kind of like Lego or something. You can kind of build this thing, and when you're communicating, if there's something wrong, you can kind of go back and rework it. But with FE, when you're communicating, like, can you still take that same approach? Like, if you're trying to blast something and it's not received well, like, how do you recover from that? Like, does that make sense?
Feels a bit like a lottery.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
Okay.
Ask Klaus. Klaus has.
It's like you have to go back into the situation where you've already been wrecked and shamed and still try to like alter the chemistry of the tribe to fit back in after.
Just described hell.
Yeah.
Ask me what sorry, I missed. There was a guest. I'm at work.
No,
so what is the question?
They asked a FE blast question and I didn't really have an answer.
It was about like FE, like how does, I guess you could say, like, how does an FE blast manifest? And if it's not received well, like, how do you recover from it? Yeah.
How do you get better at FE blast?
Let me blast about that. For me, I love giving opinions. I love talking about all of this, politics, religion, but it has to be, I have to know that the other person can take it. So for me, I would be uncomfortable sharing this here because I don't know you all. I mean, it would be like okayish, I guess. But with real friends I know for a long time, I can easily do that. I can just be myself, and that's the inferior FE because in my head I have this fear that I can't tell that to strangers, and I actually can. I had a call with Shannon about this, and she said I should just share myself and induce that tripade. It can only help me because I can learn that even that, like, that's not, I don't even mind the tripade. The thing I think what stops me is the energy of having to explain myself. And I just don't want to do that. And then I just stop explaining. I don't even say anything just to avoid having to explain myself because that takes energy. And that's the combination of FE, being afraid of that tribe thing a bit. Well, maybe I'm just finding easy excuses. Maybe it's just that, especially that tripade that I fear. It's probably that. I don't want to admit that. But it's also the energy that I have to take to just explain myself. But I'm doing it a bit more now. I'm consciously just sharing Facebook things I wouldn't normally share because I know, well, I kind of anticipate the response will not always be good. And normally I don't do that because I don't want to even get involved in that. And now I just do it, and yeah, it's not that bad actually. Sometimes it's actually good to learn things.
That's great.
Things about how the tribe reacts to you.
I'm relating to this hardcore. Like, I totally get that. But I think for myself, it's more like, is that worth pissing off the tribe about? It's just like, it's not worth the upset in general. Like, they already have enough reasons to not like me. So I don't know. I don't want to deal with one more, upset. But on Facebook, I'm with you. Like, whatever. It's my Facebook. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You're muted.
We all need to learn that.
I'm mute. Yeah.
Elizabeth, are you getting typed?
Yeah, I submitted already, so I'll have my results back on the 17th.
Woo! Exciting. Looking forward to that.
Yep, me too.
So exciting when everyone gets their results. It's like a party in the group. Everyone's bouncing around. Everyone's like, oh my God, you like this person and this person, and yeah. Type twins, yay! All that stuff.
I can't wait for that part.
Yeah. Who's your type twin? I know I have One, two,
Yeah.
two in the, oh, they were in the group, but they're not anymore. Anyway.
It's the exciting part when you get your type. After that, it's only work and it's boring.
Oh. Why are you gonna point that out, Mina?
Because I'm a downer.
Oh, I
I'm
love
a
it.
key savior. I have to be like this. You can't understand. This is my responsibility in life.
Elizabeth, you realize if you get typed as a savior blast, you got to leave the group, right?
What the hell?
I'm
Try-
joking.
I know. We'll just invite you back, but you have to blast all the time.
I'll run the group. Yeah, I'll run.
Yeah.
And be like, this is how we blast.
Yeah.
You'll get to run the lessons.
Right.
Blasting lessons.
You're not gonna say hi? All right, fine.
Hello.
My son's chickening out. Don't worry.
He's
thinking about
definitely.
saying hi, but he
He
changes
must.
his mind.
He's definitely missing blast.
He's missing blast for sure.
Hello.
Now tell him he was very brave.
That was very brave, Mina.
That was a solid wave.
Mhm.
Solid wave. Awesome.
Oh, I have an interesting story about Jordan Peterson and Blast, Demon Blast.
Tell us now.
So, in Jordan Peterson's latest question and answer video on YouTube, he was talking about his upcoming debate with the Russian guy. I think he's Russian, and he was saying that in the debate he has to give a 25-minute prepared response, and then after that there'll be an interactive question-answer session from the audience. And even Jordan Peterson, like world-renowned like speaker and all that, he said he would much rather just have it all be interactive question-answer session rather than a prepared response. And he's got Blast third, right? So having Blast third, even he doesn't like being giving voluntary information. He'd rather have it be involuntary and be like pulled out on the spot and in the moment delivery. So I thought that was interesting that he even uses the words voluntary and involuntary to describe blast and play, and he'd much prefer play style, which is involuntary versus the voluntary giving of blasting. Yeah. So what do you guys think of that?
He's missing sleep, right?
Yeah.
So he's double activated on his play.
Yep.
So he prefers the play.
Yeah, and he uses the word involuntary versus voluntary.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about how you can see in the audience if they like something. So that could be, I mean, he has a V as well. So he likes to get the response and then use that in his like speaking. So I think, yeah, he uses play over blast because he just likes to get that tribe feedback when he's talking. And when he prepares everything, he doesn't get that to the same extent, I guess. Oh, well, if he prepares, he can't be as spontaneous in the...
It's not satisfying his savior. Maybe.
Yeah, he always likes it to be a dialogue with the audience.
Yeah. That's great. More people need to learn how to do that, I think.
More people need to learn how to use our saviors, is that right?
Correct.
Depends.
If everyone would use our saviors, then the world would be a better place.
Definitely. Nothing will be done. Like you'll just be like laying down, doing nothing all day, eating. Maybe. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Dane.
Hey Dane. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
I'm Jonathan.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan.
And we've got about how many people are here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You just ran off.
That's cute.
In oblivion. What?
In oblivion.
I don't know.
So I have to go now. I have to do the night audit here in the hotel. So
Thanks, Klaus. Yeah, look, I'm gonna have. I actually need to head off in like 5-10 minutes anyway. So maybe we should just cut it off here if you guys don't want to share anything else.
Okay.
Thanks everyone. This has been awesome. Definitely want to do this again. I'll probably project some more dates, times in the future. Make it a bit more. Make it work for more people. But yeah, look. Awesome information, awesome stuff. Thanks everyone for coming. Any closing statements?
Yes,
No
thanks
worries.
for hosting.
Calling it, blasting for us.
Okay, thank
No
you,
problem.
everyone.
If someone wants to blast the closing statement.
I volunteer. This is hard.
Actually, that's. I think that's a good way to close.
Nina, you can sign us off. Give us an acid trip blast.
So anyone who has actually watched this video and who has participated on this Hangout, thank you very much. We did very well. We're amazing. We even maybe blasted a little bit at some point. Anyway, we had fun. I hope you also had fun. So
Had great
bye-bye
fun.
and thank you.
That was a great double masculine blast. Thank you, Mina.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm impressed.
Well done. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you on the Facebook.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.